Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you again. Today's video we're going to be going over the Daredevil Billy clubs I have made and how I put them together and everything. If you want to see how they were 3D modeled, I have a time-lapse video for that you can watch after this one that I will leave in the corner somewhere for you to click on if you want to go check that out. But without any further ado, let's get into this. So I've already gone ahead and sanded this down to a smooth finish with the 80, 120, and 220 grit sandpaper. Then I went over and filled it in with some 2-in-1 filler and sandable, which I've gone over and sanded again until it was a nice smooth finish, as good as I could get it at least. After that, we want to take some painter's tape that we can use to cover up the bits on the ends there that are going to be silver, so that we can spray the rest of it red. The red we're going to be using is this Krylon Fusion All-in-One Gloss Red Pepper. Now, we don't want it to be super glossy, so we do have a clear matte finish, clear coat, to put on at the very end of it. So we're going to take the painter's tape, and we're going to line it up with the indentions around it that indicate where the silver is going to be, and just make it to where it's perfectly on that line. And it's a good way to guide that first piece of tape to make sure that you have it in the right spot. As you can see, I've already done the top half, and we're just going to have it to where you can mark it off and just get the red. So I've got this little box out here to spray because I don't want to get paint on the porch. So I'm just going to be spraying it over the box. And remember to maintain a 6-inch distance, about 6 inches every time you spray, to get a nice even coat. I'm going to turn it as much as I can while I spray it, very slowly, rotating it so that I get a nice even coat on the whole thing. I'm sorry about the lighting here. I wasn't really sure where to stand, and I was doing this at night, but as you can see, the red looks really, really good on this, so we're just going to do the other one after making sure we've got enough coats. So here's that done. The camera cut off in the middle of the painting, so I've gone ahead and cut to this. If the camera will ever focus. But I think the red came out looking really nice. There we go. The red came out looking really nice. I think it did a really good job. Again, these are kind of small. I had to print them kind of small for my small printer. I do have them scaled properly to a big printer for the right size. I just don't have a big printer on me at the moment, so these are more of like kitty sized. So we're going to do the opposite, the inverse of what we did to get the red, where we take the tape and we use the guiding line of where the silver is supposed to be to cover up just outside of it. We don't have to cover up the entirety of the red. We just want to make sure that we're not going to get any silver on what we've already done. So what we're going to use for the silver, once we get our disposable gloves on, because we're going to need them. So these are a little small. They're supposed to be one fits most. And I do have some dainty hands, but they barely fit me. What we're going to be using is some silver rub and buff, though, which is the need for the gloves. You want to be very careful when you use this because it will get on anything and everything when it's first put on. Like, you'll have the slightest bit of like silver tint everywhere that your hand touches if you're not careful. But once you get it going, once you get it on, it does a really good job. It looks really nice. Just got to make sure you get it in all the crevices, whereas we don't want to cake it in too much to the indentions, the rings, whatever you want to call them, on this little top bit where we're putting it now, because we don't want to fill in those gaps. Those are supposed to be there for detail. But you just want to make sure you get all the details in. And it can be a little more annoying because we did the gray primer filler beforehand. But, you just want to make sure you get it into all the spaces. You're not going to miss anything. Make sure it's nice and smooth and not caked on too much, like I said. Just until you feel comfortable with it, until it looks pretty in your eyes. So that looks pretty good. So now we need to take our glove off very carefully so we don't get any silver on it. Even just lightly tapping it will get silver on your hand, on your fingers and everything, and then you'll run into a problem like this where I'm going to have to redo the red on the bigger one, as I lightly got some silver on my finger and didn't realize it, and so now the thing's got silver specks all over it. So it is very imperative that you are careful with this, because we are going to have to do one more coat of red before we do the matte clear. Alright, so what did you think of that? These are a little small because I have to print them out on my small printer, so I would prefer for them to actually be one of them be like the size of these together, you know, about that big-ish. That's what I would prefer for them to be. I have it scaled up for a big printer, so it'll be about that big, about 175. This is printed at 127 instead. Now, if you notice, I do have it with a little screw here and the slot here for it to be screwed together. It's just a little too big, the screw. But you can, the slot does work. I have actual screws that'll fit in here and screw in. This is just a little too big, so I got to go back and fix this, which is fine, because again, these are pretty small. These are just going to be for display, for the cosplay, you know. But yeah, they are meant to screw together, and I will have them fixed up to do that. They also have holes in them, so you can take some rope, tie a little knot into it, and push it in with like a toothpick or something, so that you can get it in and it won't come back out. And they are hollow on the inside. They're hollow on the inside so that the rope can go in and out as you put them together, and you can have them taken apart and hold together just like the ones in the comics, which I think is a really neat thing. But yeah, if you like these and you like the video and you want to see more and you're interested in the cosplay as it comes out for Daredevil, then be sure to like the video, subscribe, and ring the notification bell down below so you can stay up to date on all the new videos I have coming out. I appreciate all your support again. We're a little over 1,350 subs. I'd like to get to 1,400 soon, so that'd be cool. Hopefully by the end of this year we'll be closer to 2,000. I'm hoping for at least 1,700 by the end of the year, but we'll see. I appreciate all the support again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.